Hey everyone, my name is Janaya Reimers. I'm a Miss Australia Pageant's national finalist, and this is my interview with the Pageant Project.
Good God, there's a lot of people watching. All right, so
Is there?
hello everyone. Yeah, I'm just looking at that.
How
We
do
only
you?
done the intro, and there's so many people watching. So, guys, if you haven't seen one of my interviews before, obviously you're not here for me. You're here to support Janaya. So, whatever questions you have for her, let it rip, as we might say in the land
How do
down
you
under.
tell how many people there are?
Oh, I can see, but
Oh,
I don't let the guests see because otherwise
okay,
they
fair
become
enough.
obsessed with how many people are watching,
Oh,
and they get
no.
really upset if the viewership number goes down because like, oh my god, everybody hates me. So, guys, whatever questions you have for Janaya Reimers, who is obviously my guest for today, put them in the comments, and I will bring them up on screen. Or if you just have a message of support, I'm sure she'd appreciate that too. But Janaya, how are you?
Hello. I'm really good, thank you. How are you going?
I'm doing well. Just
That's
before
good.
we went live, I remembered I should change my handle back to the Pageant Project, away from that pageant dude. Now that I actually have
Yeah,
my socials back, I'm like, oh my god, get it done before we go live.
great
What's been
username.
happening? Yeah, well, I was going for the pageant guy or that pageant guy, and that was actually taken by someone.
Oh,
So
really?
I ended up with that pageant dude, which is a bit more American. Do you
Yeah.
say dude much? I find people
I
say
actually,
bro a lot now.
yeah, I'd probably say bro more than dude, but not
Bro.
really.
Yeah. I thought we used to say mate, and I still go around calling everyone mate, but now everyone says, "Oh, thanks, bro." I'm like, "Oh, we've gone away from mate to bro." So now
Yeah,
everyone's
mate's just the classic like Aussie thing that people think we say, but we don't really say.
well, I say it, but I,
Okay,
I,
sorry.
I'm old school. Anyway, I like that's probably the most Australian thing I do. What have you been up to today? We're on a Wednesday. We're just coming out of summer. I was telling you we've had some really hot weather
Yeah.
up here in Sydney. What have you been up to today?
Today I've just been working basically, my usual work, come home, do a little bit of pageant practice walking. Sometimes I do my little interview practice. Other than that, literally just work.
What about what sort of work? Because I know you have your own business. So we're talking you're working at your own business?
Yeah, so I do that, and then I also work at another clinic a couple of days a week just to enhance my skills,
Yeah.
especially in like massage and all that stuff that I it's not my strong suit. Like my strong suit is skin,
Yeah.
um, and learning all about the skin. That's what I do. So I work there basically, yeah, just to enhance my skills. So that's what I was
Right.
doing today.
So what's your official job title?
My at my own business or
Yeah, no, what I'm not really up to date with what people call what. So is it a beauty technician? Is it an
no,
esthetician?
I'm a dermal therapist. So
Dermal
dermal
therapist?
therapist is just like the science of the skin, basically. Like I do all the beauty stuff as well. Like I do eyebrows, lashes, but I specialize in skin.
Okay, so when someone has terrible skin or terrible pores, you're basically the person that we should call in.
Basically, but we never say it's terrible. It's workable, but it's not terrible.
You okay? That's fair enough. I suppose we could all do with a bit of hope. So, I'm just curious on a bit of an ongoing basis because I've just been reviewing some skincare products. So I actually now have a
Oh yeah?
skincare regimen for God's
Good
sakes.
on you.
Yeah, but what percentage of your clients are guys versus girls? I got to imagine it's mainly girls,
Yes, it is. It's probably like a 5% guys.
right? Okay.
So you do get the odd guy coming in, but mostly they're sent by their wife or their girlfriend. They always say that. But most of the guys actually come in for just like an eyebrow wax rather than actual like skin treatments, which I've found.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
most of the time just sent by the wives.
But yeah, I guess that makes sense. So what are some of the most common treatments that you're doing?
Microdermabrasion, do you know what that is?
Micro, I know what that means, and abrasion is something to do. I think I saw a post you put up with Brooke in it, and I think she had her eyebrow something about microdermabrasion.
Oh, no,
I'm not
that was
sure.
a brow lamination.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's
I
a
have no
totally
idea. Clearly. Okay, so please, the stage is yours.
um
Tell us about
so
microdermabrasion.
well, microdermabrasion is just like an extreme exfoliation of the skin. So basically, it's like a suction that gets all the dead skin out in easy terms. Another really big skin treatment is skin needling, if you've heard of that. So that's
Yeah.
basically, sounds a bit scary, but it's not. It's a controlled trauma to your skin. And then in easy terms, basically by causing that controlled trauma, it makes your skin and your face go, oh my gosh, I need to fix that and bring it back new. So it puts all its power to that controlled trauma to bring it back as fresh new skin. So people that like have fine lines, acne scarring, wrinkles, pigmentation, that's the treatments that they sort of go for.
Right. Okay. That makes that actually makes quite a lot of sense because I do some things that are, I guess what you said, controlled trauma. That's an interesting phrase because I will occasionally do like intermittent fasting, or
Yeah,
do like a more prolonged fast, which is 2 or 3 days, and that sort of gets the body to start regenerating because it's going, oh my God, we've run out
yeah,
of food. So I guess it's the same sort of concept there, guys. I can see a bunch of you watching.
100%.
I can hear you out there breathing. So if you don't have any pageant questions for Janae, give her some skin questions. She's obviously the skin expert. I don't even know what microdermabrasion is. But with the needling, so I've
Yeah.
seen some photos, I think, of what goes on, but that's actually taking a needle, isn't it? And is it like
Yeah.
acupuncture? You put it in the skin and you leave it there, or you just poking?
Um,
What happens?
it's the source, it's the, like the same sort of concept, but basically it's a machine, and the head of the machine has maybe 8 different needles in it.
Okay.
And you're basically doing like a pattern in the skin. So you go down, 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 across, cross, cross, and do that all around the face. So it's quick little
Yeah.
movements, not continuous in the skin, but quick little movements of 8 needles. And then you can control the depth of the needle as well, dependent on if the clients had kneeling done before or their skin
Right.
concern. Yeah.
And I've seen one that's done. I don't know if it's similar or not, but I've seen one done with like a laser, where goes over the skin in several passes, and it's not needling. Obviously, it's with a laser, but
Yeah.
it seems to be the definition of controlled trauma, and the skin sort of afterwards looks like it's had some sort of exfoliation or stripping done with a laser. And the idea after that is that the skin will heal after they come out and they look quite like red. But have you ever
Yeah.
seen that?
It could be lots of different things, like the LED, which is the laser which you're talking
Mm,
about, that can be put onto any machine. So I could get a LED laser put onto my needling machine. So it
right.
could be a needling machine just with that added benefit to it. Because
Okay.
after you come out of most skin treatments, you're red and look, yeah, you need to stay inside for a couple of days if you get needling done.
Right. Okay. So if I was to walk into your clinic, what should I
Yeah.
have done? Or what could I have done? Given that I've never had any sort of treatment whatsoever, where
Well,
would be the best place to start?
okay, well, the first question I just asked everybody when I'm doing a skin consult is, if you could walk out of here today with something changed in your skin or improved, what would it be?
Well, I wouldn't mind getting rid of some of the wrinkles, although I don't mind that
Yeah,
so much, but I do get quite a lot of dry skin around here for some
yeah,
reason, and then on the sides of my nose. And I still occasionally, I don't get pimples, but I do, okay, I sweat quite a lot. I think I have oily
yeah,
skin and I'm very active. So I sometimes have issues caused by that. And I tend to have like, I think sometimes I have combination skin. It's like
yeah,
sometimes really, like in the winter, it's really dry, but then in summer, it can get oily. So,
yeah, fair enough. Well, what I would do, because like it's your first skin treatment, I'd always do something hydrating to boost your hydration and something like calm that doesn't have very active ingredients. But because you said like wrinkles, I would tailor maybe like a wrinkle mask or a wrinkle serum and infuse that into your skin
okay.
as well. And then, yeah, maybe my finishing products might be something to help potential breakouts from sweating,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
But yeah, just something calm that will help your skin, but nothing that will irritate it. Because sometimes if you jump into skincare too quickly or skin treatments, your skin can do a like opposite reaction and flare up.
I can imagine. Now, Brittany, I don't know if you know Brittany, but Brittany has said she's
Oh,
so gorgeous. Um,
thank you.
guys, like, comment, say something. There's so many of you watching, and you're just out there staring. Why don't we circle around to pageantry? So obviously we've got the Miss
Yeah,
Australia pageants final coming up in a
April
month.
next month. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
basically a month right now, isn't it? So
It's
four
yeah.
weeks on the Gold Coast. So you've got the global crown up for grabs and the intercontinental
Yeah.
crown up for grabs. Global, obviously, is our lovely Brooke Rankin, and intercontinental is Courtney Tester. How are you feeling? You've got 4 weeks or so out. How are the nerves?
Yeah. Actually good. I'm feeling really good. I'm really prepared this time around. I've got into everything really quickly. All my evening gowns, Australian costume outfits, all sorted, getting them designed by international designers, which I'm really excited for this
Ooh,
time. They're
okay.
next level. So in terms of like preparation of outfits, I'm I'm not nervous or stressed about getting them done. I've got that all sorted. In terms of coaching and training, I've got an outside coach, so I'm doing that maybe once to twice a week or
Mhm.
more with the coach, and then obviously all my home training as well. So that's moving along really good as well. So literally not nervous. I'm sure I'll be nervous like when I'm there, but I'm really prepared and I'm ready.
And how did you get into pageants to begin with? I probably should have started with that question. So you did the
Um,
Miss Australia pageant system last year. Was that your first pageant, or have you done pageants previous to
um,
that?
I've done like small pageants, so like not big ones. So for example, like Miss Country Girl, if you heard of that, I did that a couple
Yeah, I think
times
so.
when I
Yeah.
was younger,
Yep.
and just like little ones like that. But the one I did last year or 2021, whenever it was,
Yeah.
that was my first like bigger one.
Right. How
Yeah,
did you
but
how did you find it?
well, I can't remember, but because I've always been into the modeling world, I've always been into, photos. I've always looked up like always been interested in like Miss Universe. I've always followed those girls. I'm not really sure exactly how I came across this Miss Australia one. But I just remember applying and then getting an email and being like, congrats. And then literally last time I only had 4 weeks to prepare. I was in it very last minute. So
Yeah.
that I was definitely stressed and freaked out then. I'll tell you that.
Did you have any idea what you were getting yourself into?
No. No.
Not at
Honestly,
all.
no. I no. I did do like a little bit of training for that too, but nowhere near as much as what I'm doing now. And
Yeah.
obviously I have past experiences to go off and I know what I'm getting into this time and I know how to prepare and I know what to do to stand out. So that time was just, getting thrown in the deep end.
Right. And how did you go last year? I mean, you said you had no idea what to expect or how to prepare. It doesn't mean you didn't do well. How did you
Yeah.
find the experience last year?
Really, really good. I'll tell you a story and you're gonna laugh, but basically in my bikini walk, right? I
Hmm.
was so nervous. At this stage, back in 2021, I wasn't really sure how to handle my nerves. So that sort of got the better of me in the
Right.
bikini. So anyway, I was walking down and then I pose and then my
Hmm.
foot falls and I
Hmm.
like trip over and I just
Hmm.
remember my face going like, and then I look at the judges and they're like, it's fine, just keep going. So yeah, did that. My interview went right, wasn't probably my best either, but I ended up coming in the top 10. And then I won some ambassadorships as well. So turned out well for not
I saw you.
training whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then literally falling over in my bikini walk. And then I walked out of that interview going, what did they even ask me?
I have interviewed hundreds of pageant girls, and honestly, doesn't it? You didn't actually fall. You tripped.
Well, I I was going to fall if I didn't like go like whoa, you know?
Okay. So you decided it'd be better if you didn't fall because yeah, I've heard. I don't know if you know about the Galaxy pageant, but I was interviewing Emily Egan, who's the
Oh
current Miss
yeah,
Galaxy, and when she won her title, she during rehearsal she fell off the stage.
I
She
remember
didn't
her
just
saying that.
trip. She didn't just fall. She fell off the stage, and then during that pageant, she got food poisoning as well. So
Oh my
I
gosh,
somehow I
poor
don't
thing.
think that what you just went through is quite on that level. And then I've heard people going into interviews and they're so nervous, they run out and cry. So one of them went in and cried as soon as she sat down, and then other ones just run out and they have so much trauma they completely black out the experience.
Oh,
So it
okay.
sounds like you didn't do too badly for someone who's completely new to the industry and had no idea what she was getting herself
Yeah.
into. But you're much more
Look,
prepared this time by the sounds of it.
yeah, I take back what I said. It was just a bad experience for me. Maybe it doesn't compare to all the others.
And with your preparation, I mean, you said that you're working with some international designers, and that's all very cool, especially for the Aussie girls, because we
Yeah,
don't take pageantry isn't huge here. So to hear that, you know, some of you are getting out of the country to hire maybe some of the big guns, that's exciting. I won't get you to reveal
yeah.
anything. I know it has to be kept a secret. But did you go about that journey yourself, or did you have some help from some of the other pageant girls who may have had like international contacts or international experience?
Yeah, I did get some help from some of the other girls that I know and I'm friends with, or um, just happened to ask. And they've had experiences with these designers, and it's been great. And their designs have turned out amazingly. So I wanted to put everything into this pageant, basically. I didn't want to go half-assed. I wanted to go all or go home, basically. So I wanted to get the best ones, the best people out there to make my dream dress and my dream Australian costume.
You want to give, and guys, now that I roused on you to ask questions, I will circle around to the questions. And just before I do you want to give the lovely people watching any hints, or are they just going to have to go and see you in person?
On on the Australian
On
costume.
any of it, on your dress, the color, the national, whatever.
Yeah, I would say a couple things.
Okay,
Um, Basically, my dress is my dream dress. It's literally me in a dress. My Australian costume is like next level in terms of the color, in terms of just like everything. I would just say like it's extra, it's next level. You're just gonna have to come and watch, but
okay.
you will be amazed.
Are you an extra person in general?
No, when I say extra, I don't mean like glittery or anything like that. I just mean like, you know, the best. But
Cool.
not really. Like I'm not an overly extra person. I do like to be well dressed and look good, but not extra, if you get what I mean.
That's okay. I don't take it too seriously. I'm just, you know, there are some people who, especially in pageant land, go to everything, even the supermarket, wearing $30,000 gowns. And then there's some people who, when they're not on the pageant stage, all they wear is tracksuit, track pants. So just like on
Yeah.
that scale, you know, just curious as
I've
to
got a
where
bit of
you are.
both, probably. Sometimes I wear
Yeah.
trackies and a hoodie. Sometimes I go out in all my designer. Just depends what day you catch me on.
Well, I mean, you live in Melbourne, so definitely need a trackie and a hoodie, definitely in
Yeah.
winter. Why don't we circle around to some of these questions? So Stephen Rowe has asked Janaya, what are the challenges you have faced to become a finalist?
Um, well, in terms of this pageant, like this year's pageant, I haven't really faced that many challenges as of yet, touch wood. Everything's gone really smoothly with the designs and then with the training. Um, but in terms of last pageant, obviously when we're talking about my walking, so getting over the fact of, falling or tripping in that bikini walk and then having to get my confidence back to go in because we had interviews straight after bikini.
Right.
So my challenges back then was to put my brave face on and just be confident and forget about what just happened there. Even though
Yep.
it might not be big to somebody else, it you know it is hard for the person that it happens to. Um, but I'm not really sure as of this year. The only thing challenges that you face to become a finalist, like Not really. I just applied and got in again.
Yeah.
But in terms of like training, if we sort of change the question a little bit, I would say getting my walk spot on has been hard.
Mm.
So like getting, my routines, dropping my sarong or tripping on my feet, losing my balance, that's been hard. And I'm obviously improving and I'm getting better, but that's been, yeah, hard as a finalist at the moment.
Okay. Are you a natural walker? Because there are a lot of the girls who do well on the pageant stage in terms of walk, they're dancers or gymnasts from before.
Um, I, I have done dancing. I used to do dancing. I used to be a cheerleader, also did jazz and pop, but I wouldn't say I'm like a natural. I'd also say like having modeling experience helps. Like even though it's a completely different walk, it
Yeah.
does help in how to present yourself on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah. It probably means you're more comfortable in heels than some of the other girls as well, which
Yeah, I
will
can
really
run in
help.
heels.
Please don't. I I see that and I just hear ankles snapping everywhere. Please don't. I believe you,
Oh.
but please don't. Um, all right. I assume this lady is related to you in some way.
Oh
Either
yeah.
that or there's a huge coincidence that she has the same surname.
No, that's
Where's the
my
surname
beautiful
from?
sister.
Where's the
It's
surname from, by the
German.
way?
It's
Oh, okay, cool.
German. Yeah.
Well, she has asked, what is your favorite modeling event you've been to?
Well, that I've been to. I don't really know. There's been so many, but one I'll say is there's actually happening next Thursday. It's a runway event. So I'm walking in this new brand's big, you know, event, like where they're actually, what's the word? Where they like
Is it like a
their launch
collection?
event.
A launch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their launch, that's what I was trying to get, their launch event. So I know that's probably going to be one of my favorites because I love runways. So all the runway events that I've walked in has probably been my favorite. But then
Yeah.
I also know next week will be really good as well.
Is the one next week open to the public?
Yeah, it is.
So people
Anyone
can
can just
come watch you?
register and go, yep, they can.
Cool.
I've got a couple people registered at the moment. But
Nice.
yeah.
So if people want to come along and watch you, just DM you.
Um, yeah, DM me or I'll probably post it on my story again sometime this week. That's all through my agency Edge Models as well. So there'll be lots of different models there, which will be exciting.
Liam White, what legacy would you like to leave if you are to win Miss Australia?
Oh, lots of different things probably. I just want to be known as someone that like helps others. I want to be a role model for everyone. I want to say my past experiences and I just want everyone to, look back on that and be like, yeah, wow, like she actually taught me a lot. Wow, I can learn from her past experiences and how she dealt with that, and what techniques or what mindset and
Mm,
help help those people and help the future people. So I just want to be known as someone as um, that, yeah, empowers people, gives people that the strength to have the right mindset to get through everything. I want people to be like, yeah, she helped me.
nice. Do you have any, in terms of Miss Australia, obviously there are two crowns up for grabs. Do you have any inclination one way or the other, or both?
Um, Look, I'd be extremely happy with either, as I'm sure everybody would say, but I probably am leaning towards the global crown. And this is just because I know about the global a bit more. I've seen obviously Brooke Rankin. I've seen what she's done with
Mhm.
her crown, and I've seen her at internationals, and I I want to do that. And
Yeah.
I love what Brooke's been able to do with her crown and how she promotes her platform. So
Mm,
I I lean probably a bit more towards global, but happy obviously with both. I'll be able to promote my platform to the world via Miss Intercon as well as Miss Global.
sure. I think Brooks had a few modeling. Like I saw that she went over to, it was Vietnam, wasn't it? She went over there once or twice.
Yeah,
So she had a few
yeah,
opportunities come out of that that would probably suit you
yeah.
as well.
She walked in the Harper Bazaar runway.
That's right,
She
Harper's
looked
Bazaar, yeah.
absolutely amazing. But yeah, those opportunities obviously would be amazing to have. once in a lifetime opportunities.
Absolutely. Natasha's asking a good question on a topic that I did want to get around to. So I saw you went to Mount Everest. How was it? I'm going to assume it was cold and high, but tell us about how'd you end up at Mount Everest? I assume you didn't just get lost.
Well, first of all, yes, it was very cold. It was minus 20 degrees. And as I said before, I come from Queensland and I'm a girl that has the heater on at 22 degrees.
You Queenslanders are when it's 20 degrees, you guys are cold. So
Oh,
minus 20, you'd be, oh my God.
yeah. Basically, it was just sort of like a something that happened like out of the blue. So it didn't happen very quickly. Like it wasn't like a really planned thing. Um, but yeah, it was really good. It was very crazy, very cold, very crazy, very hard. Is all I have to say.
It sounds really pleasant. I'm just looking at your social. Can you tell us what this, give us some context for this photo.
Oh, yes. So that was at base camp of Mount Everest. So just behind sort of is, I think that's the pink, like peak in the middle of Mount Everest. Could be really wrong, but I know that behind that big rock,
Yeah,
somewhere is Mount Everest. So this
right.
day we got up at like 5 a.m. and the lights, the electricity did not work. So we had our little headlights on. The water bowl was frozen. Our drink bottles were frozen.
Hmm.
We had to get changed and walk like 6 hours. And when I say walk, we're hiking up a hill like this. And we've got like a 6 kilo bag on our back. The path is uneven. There's rocks falling everywhere. So after that 6 hours, we arrive at our lunch spot. We have lunch, or because we woke up so early, it wasn't lunch. It was like brunch. And
Yeah.
then we had to walk probably another 4 hours to base camp. And then we'll add this rock for half an hour max. And then we had to walk all the way back. And then after this day, so this day was already like a 10-hour day, um, we then decided to climb another mountain called Kalapatar. So this mountain was the hardest thing in the whole trip. So basically, it's 3 hours constant uphill, and
Yeah.
then it was like probably an hour down because it doesn't take us long to get down. And we did that all just to watch the sunset, which looking back, I was like, I put my body through all of that just to watch the sunset. But yeah, that day was the hardest day I've probably ever done. And then the next morning, I woke up and my face was all puffy and red, and it was not good. But
Sounds
it was
like
a very good experience. But yeah.
sounds like you would have needed a skin treatment the day after. I mean, you
Oh,
said your face was puffy, but I mean, how was the body? Forget the
oh,
face for a second. How did you pull up?
well, my body actually wasn't that sore, but you know what I did on the very first day of the hike? So it was a 15-day hike. I hurt my ankle. I
I
don't
was
know
gonna say,
how,
don't tell me you twisted
but
your ankle.
yeah. And every morning it hurt so much to walk
Mhm.
on. But the only reason I could walk is because it froze and just
Yeah,
went
so you
numb.
can't feel anything, and it
Yeah.
doesn't swell up
Like
as much.
this sounds so bad. And I probably really damaged my ankle, but that's how I got through.
Yep, yep. Well,
And then
yeah,
in terms,
continue.
sorry, I just thought of something. But my sunscreen as well froze. So obviously you can still get like, I don't know if it's sunburn or
Yeah, yeah.
airburn from the ice. But yeah, my sunscreen froze, so I got so burnt on my face as well. So it just hurt to touch. So that was not great.
Yeah, I think you can get more burnt there than probably anywhere else because obviously you're climbing up, so you're closer to the sun, but also there's no cloud cover, and then all the ice. It's
Yeah.
like being on the water at the
Reflection of
beach.
the
It
ice.
reflects,
Yeah.
so you would have gotten absolutely fried. Um,
Yep. Indeed.
would have had a
I
would have
did.
had a nice tan, although you probably only on your face because I'm going to assume
No.
everything else was covered.
Yeah, everything from head to toe was covered basically.
Okay.
Basically just like my little face was out or just my eyes, depending on how cold it was.
So, why did you do this? It doesn't sound like it was particularly pleasant. Was it just to challenge yourself? Was it just someone else had the idea and you went, "Yeah,
Oh,
I'll do that too"?
yes. Well, basically, my partner came up with the idea. So he loves adventures and going out and
Okay.
doing things. And he said to me, "Hey, I'm going to do this. Do you want to come?" And at
Hmm.
first I was like, "Hell no!" Like I'm usually the girl that would just go, Europe or Italy, stay in five-star hotels and all that jazz. But
Yes.
then
Much
I
much
really,
more civilized.
yeah. And then so he said that to me, and I was like, no, no, no. And then I thought about it for a while, and I was like, you know what? Like that's really out of my comfort zone. That's
Mhm.
so different. It would challenge me. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. And I just locked myself in, paid for things,
Okay.
and I couldn't get out of it after that.
Okay. So now he owes you one.
Yes, well, we were supposed to go to Europe after this, but now he's booked another holiday to Africa.
How does that work? You went and climbed the
Exactly.
mountain for him, so
I
this not
know.
right. Something's not right here. This seems very unfair. I mean, I can obviously it's an adventure and would push you out of your comfort zone, but I mean, this is probably one that I would do. There are other people like people who want to run a marathon, for example, and that would push me out of my
Yeah.
comfort zone, but I don't want to do that because I hate running. So, well, I hate jogging. I don't mind running for sport, but I don't like jogging. So, would
Fair
you do
enough.
this again?
You know what? When I was there and
Yeah,
when I was going through that 15 days, because it was the
yeah.
hardest thing mentally and physically, I was like, I'm never doing this again. Never, ever, ever. But then I got home and I was like, wow, like I would really do that again. Like I loved it. Like even though it was really hard in the moment,
Okay.
like mentally and physically, it was such a good experience. And all the views, all the different people you met, all the different food you got to eat. And even like, yes, you're walking like 7+ hours a day, but you're talking to people the whole time. So even just like you miss those conversations and it didn't seem like 7 hours walking. But yeah, I'd definitely do that again or something similar for sure. You should definitely give it a go.
I'm okay over here. So then, in that case, your partner doesn't owe you one because you actually enjoyed it.
Well, yes,
That's
but
why
we
he's
did
going
it.
going to
We
Africa, right?
we did agree. We did agree. I was like, well, if I come, our next holiday is Europe. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Africa is
then,
not in Europe. It's
huh?
Africa is not in Europe. You said he planned
Yes,
his next trip to.
yeah,
That's not
yeah.
Europe.
I know. That's the point. So
Did he
obviously, heading
forget?
off to Europe. No, He no, you know what? He's like, "Oh, this tour had a sale. I had to book it."
There are sales to Europe. There are sales to go
I
everywhere,
know.
especially at the moment. Because and look, I won't get in the middle. I don't want to get in the middle. I'm just saying, Africa is not exactly Europe. It's not really
I'm sh
even close.
Oh, I know. I'm sure he's watching, so
I don't know. Sounds like he still owes you one. So don't tell him that you enjoyed it. Tell him it was the most horrible thing that you ever had to do in your life, and then he will feel guilty, and then he
Yep,
will owe you one. But that's very
yep.
cool. That's that's something you can just slide into the conversation. Oh yeah, I went to Mount Everest. It's like, oh,
Yeah, it was really cool, for sure.
very cool and very cold by the sounds
Oh,
of it as well.
yep.
I don't know.
Everything
I don't know
froze.
how a Queenslander could
Everything.
survive there. As I know
You
lots of Queenslanders. I used to live in Queensland. You guys, as soon as it gets to 20, you're all like dressed up in sweaters and scarves,
Yeah.
and it's really funny. So to think of a Queenslander, on Mount Everest in -20, I can just imagine how miserable you would have been.
The only way I got through it was because I went out and brought all the best stuff. I literally brought the stuff for Mount Everest. So I was wearing lots and lots of layers, wearing a full like headgear and everything.
That's
Otherwise, yeah,
okay.
I could not do it. Where in contrast, my partner was wearing shorts the whole time in -20 degrees.
I'm not going to go there. Something's gone horribly wrong. That's such an Australian thing to do. Please tell me he was actually wearing footwear. Please, the most bogan Australian thing you could do is go to Mount Everest and climb up it in shorts and like flip flops. That would be the most holding like a stubby of beer. That would be the most Australian thing.
I
shorts.
can confirm he was wearing footwear. He just gets really
Right.
hot. That's all.
It was minus
I
20.
know. I know. Tell
Okay.
me about it.
Okay. I take it he's not from Queensland.
No, not.
Okay. Because if he's getting hot at Mount Everest, God forbid he goes to Queensland because he would just incinerate.
I
Um,
know.
but that is a cool story. Brittany has again chimed in. She said, I can't wait
Yeah.
to see your dress. And Stephen has another question. Do you have a role model slash mentor?
Yes, I would probably say my role model is Olivia Molly Rogers. So people that
Okay.
don't know Olivia Molly Rogers, she is obviously really big on Instagram, but she's also a previous Miss Universe Australia, and she's also really big on mental health. But the reason I look at her as a role model is because I love how she shares her past experiences and
Hmm.
how she's turned into a better person, or how what she's learned from it, or how she's turned that negative into a positive. So I've always looked up to her and been like, well, if she can turn that negative into a positive, I can do the same. So yeah, I'd probably definitely say Olivia Molly Rogers for that, but also how good she is, how good she was, I should say, as Miss Universe Australia, and the platform that of her mental health that she went about.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
Yeah.
guys watching, if you have any more questions, put them in the comments and I will pass them on. I just want to bring up I have a question. Actually have a trivia question for you, and it's
Yeah.
about you. Okay. So
Okay.
here's a trivia question, and the subject is yourself. What is your TikTok handle?
I don't know. It's got many A's in it. It's like JAAAYYY, and then it's like
I,
AL.
this is why I wanted to ask you because I was looking at your TikTok, and I felt like I had to ask you, how on earth did you come up with that handle? What happened here? Was
You
this at Mount Everest
no.
and you fell down the mountain and then you press this with your face? Like, Janay,
Oh,
five
is it?
A's, Reimer, four S's, and then 12. And why do you need the 12? I can't believe like that without the 12 was taken. So what happened here?
Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I think probably what it was like Janaya Reimers was taken or something, like just without all the letters.
Yeah.
So then I just went extreme, you know? And then I had to add a 12 as my favorite number at the end.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be able to tell me what your TikTok handle was. I don't think I've
I
ever seen one
knew.
quite that bad
Oh,
before.
when you asked that question, I was like, "Oh no, he's judging my TikTok username. He saw it and's concerned."
Well, I'm not concerned. I just think it's hilarious because even you don't know what it is. You got a couple of TikToks. These are from Everest, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah,
This is cool.
it does have sound to it, I think.
Yeah, I just don't think you'd be able to hear it. I
That was
can't
me.
play it through. That was you. That the two eyes behind. I mean, it looks spectacular.
It was like something you would see in a painting.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And then the base camp shot. So you were only here for
Yep.
about half an hour, you said?
Yep. Max. Basically, we just took.
5,364 meters, so about
Yeah.
15,000 feet above. I jumped out of a plane and it was not at that height. It was only at 10,000 feet. So
Really?
you're higher than, yeah, skydiving,
We
you
end.
tend to go at 10,000 or 6,000, and that's
Oh yeah.
15,000 feet. So,
We ended up going higher than that because after, as I said, we climbed another mountain. So that was
mm,
six something.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it get hard to breathe at all when you're up that high?
Um, yes, like you do find yourself puffing a lot more when you're
Hmm.
walking, but I didn't notice it, if that makes sense. You only noticed it
Yeah.
when you're walking, like when you're descending and you're like, wow, I can breathe a lot easier. Like
Yeah,
that's when you realize it's not like actually in
I
the
can imagine
moment.
that.
Like here at base camp, I wasn't like, wow, it's hard to breathe. I think we had 50% oxygen there, but
Right.
it didn't feel like that. I just was breathing as normal.
Well, I guess also because you're walking uphill, you would be getting sort of fatigued anyway, so it'd probably be a bit
Yeah.
harder to tell. Whereas on the way down, you're suddenly like, oh wow, I can breathe again normally.
Yeah.
Um, why don't we just switch a topic for a while? Because you mentioned your modeling, and I know that you
Yeah.
had. Was this a? Tell the audience about this. Was this a magazine you got published in?
Yeah, so this was a magazine. I actually did the shoot in Sydney, and then maybe three weeks after this shoot, the photographer messaged me. He was like, "Hey, it's going to be published in the magazine," and I was so close to getting the cover of the magazine as well. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I was so close to getting it, but I was lucky to get four pages even. Um, I've got that actually in my salon. Sitting
Yeah. Well,
there
you
because
should.
it's got all the other people in it as well and comments and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool to just open a book and be like, that's me, or show people like, yeah,
How
really
did it
really
feel
cool.
when you first saw that to see your photos in an actual printed magazine?
I was like, wow, like I don't know, it's not like the oh you made it moment, like it's not my made it moment, but it's like a like you're getting there, like look at this, like you 5 years ago would be
Yeah.
like in disbelief that this is like actually you in a printed magazine that people can buy at the shops.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just say
That's
it's like a semi you made it there or you're
yeah.
getting there moment sort of thing.
How far do you want to take your modeling career? Like in a perfect world, if you could take it as far as you want, because obviously you've got work as well. So are
Yeah.
you wanting just to do the modeling on the side, or if the opportunity presented, would you go full-time modeling, like traveling the world, that sort of thing, runways, etc.?
Yeah, of course, if the opportunity presented itself to me, I would 100% just do modeling for full time and travel the
Hmm.
world and do runways and photo shoots and everything like that. Yeah, 100%. And ideally, like my like dream for modeling, only modeling would be to, do photo shoots in New York and do it a lot more than what I do. Like, because I'm juggling obviously my work
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
modeling, which is it's just like a side hustle. Like, it's not my main thing. It's yeah, I would love to do it more, but yeah, we'll see.
What's your favorite part about modeling? What's your favorite part and
Um,
your least favorite part?
My favorite part would probably just be like the connections you make with people and the different people that modeling or the industry opens you up to. So there's been so many people that I wouldn't have met if it wasn't for that certain photo shoot or that certain event
Mm,
that I got invited to. So that's probably my favorite thing. My least favorite thing, I always say this to people, modeling is not as easy as what it looks. And it's not as glamorous and as nice as what it looks. You'll literally like the poses you get in, your back could be so sore, your arm could be like bent in an unnatural position. I remember one time, oh, not one time, it was literally these photos, the beach ones.
right.
It was winter in Sydney, so it was freezing cold for me and we were in the
As the girl
water.
who's been to Mount Everest.
Anyway, these it wasn't necessarily these photos, but I was doing a
Mm,
photo where like I put my hair in the water and flicked it up, and they got the photo of me flicking my hair up.
yeah,
But I would get bashed by the waves, and then there would be big rocks, and I ended up with a big cut on my like lower leg
yeah.
because it's just rock. So it's not as glamorous and as nice as what you think. Like those photos, yeah, look great and look
Mm.
glamorous and wow, but like I actually had a big cut on my leg at the end of the day and got bashed and
Mm.
sand everywhere.
Is there some reason why all the glamorous bikini shoots seem to be held in the middle of like frozen winter? It seems it's just like a
Honestly,
photographer's love, like just making you guys suffer? Because it's always like it's shot in the middle of winter. It's never done. Oh, it's a sweltering hot day. It was great. It's like no, it's in the middle of winter, 5 degrees out. Yeah, wear
Literally.
a bikini and go in the water.
I think there's two reasons. The first reason I think is because like if it's a beach shoot, the beach is less busy. And then
Oh yeah,
second
okay.
reason I think is this is with like all lots of clothing.
Mm.
Um, that I find really silly. Anyway, their summer range comes out in winter, and their winter range comes out in summer.
Oh yeah,
So
okay.
last last when was it? Last winter we were shooting summer clothing like t-shirts and shorts, and
I
it
guess
was
that makes
freezing.
sense. Yeah. Yeah. So you either
Like
be freezing in winter or boiling to death in summer because
yeah,
you're modeling the winter stuff. I guess that makes sense because the clothes come out like at least a few months before, so people have time to get hyped
yeah.
about it. So
It makes
I
sense,
didn't
but
think
it's
about
silly.
that. Yeah, I just hear all those not horror stories, but the stories of girls doing shoots like that, and it always seems to be in the middle of winter. But actually, now what
Yeah.
you said makes sense. So I just thought it was the photographers being obtuse, but that actually
Yeah.
makes a certain amount
I
of
want to
sense.
make the models suffer.
I don't know. Me, all sorts of weird and wonderful people today. Scar 3N or Scarin, how do you stay calm when you have to be on stage?
Um, so I have found recently, not recently, but from my last pageant, so that was back in 2020, I've learned how to control my nerves. I don't really know exactly how, but it's just, my mindset. And I change the nerves into something positive. So
Mhm.
that's one thing. But I also, this also helped me with Mount Everest, but it was my breathing. So I would have to
Yeah.
literally just go, and that just helped me stay calm when I'm on stage. It also helped me Mount Everest because my head was all over the place, and also
Mhm.
trying to walk, the breathing technique helped.
Yeah.
Um, so the main thing is probably my breathing, but also turning my nerves into something positive. And I think in my head, what's what's it gonna do when you're nervous? Like it's gonna if you let the nerves get the better of you, it's gonna go worse than what you want.
Yeah.
But turn that nerves into confidence, turn that nerves into like making it the best performance you've done. So that's what
Mhm.
I've I've done the last couple of times, and it's really just worked in my favor. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had similar discussions with a few people before, and I think before you go on stage for a big event, or whether it's Everest or whatever it is, you can sometimes think you're nervous, but nervousness in your body is very similar to feeling excited. And
Yeah.
so as soon as you label it as, "Oh, I'm nervous," then you go, "Oh, I'm nervous," and that's a bad thing. Whereas if you go,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, actually, I'm not nervous, I'm feeling excited," then suddenly the same energy, but it's a good thing. And it sounds like you've done
Yeah.
something very
For
similar
sure.
there.
It's all
Uh,
about like your like how you deal with it mentally is
Absolutely.
the imp it that really determines how well you do, or how well, like in terms of controlling your nerves.
Yeah, I think that's a huge overlooked part of pageantry is actually the mental and the emotional
Yeah.
component of it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not feeling great, it's hard to do your best on stage. Because pageantry is so
For
much about
sure.
portraying, a confident, a confident person on stage who's got it all together. And if you're not feeling it, then it can be very difficult to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fake it. You can fake it for maybe 5 minutes, but you can't fake it ongoing. Guys, I know that you've got still some questions out. I'll circle back round to the questions after I have run Janaya through the final 10. But Janaya, just before we go through the final 10 questions, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Oh, probably yes. Um, so a couple people, but obviously my close friends, and you all know who you are. Just you guys have been absolutely amazing in supporting me, always wanting what's best for me, helping me out with if it's in terms of like content days, training, um, all that stuff. I really appreciate you, and as I said, you all know who you are. Obviously, my family, I really appreciate you, especially my mum. She's literally like my mum and jar. She helps me. She's the best. If if I didn't have her, I it would be I wouldn't be, this prepared, always being on my back to follow up on things, or the days where I'm not necessarily feeling doing a little bit of training, she'll make
Mm.
sure that I do it because she knows that, like, if I don't, I will regret it. But yeah, I really appreciate mum and obviously my dad as well. He doesn't help with that stuff, but just for being him, and my brother and sister as well. And obviously Liam, my partner, just him being him. He doesn't really understand the pageant world as of
Yes.
yet. Um, well, I haven't been with him when I've done another pageant, but appreciate him and always wanting what's best for me. But yeah, all you guys have been amazing, and I appreciate everything. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, now that we've gotten through that, let's run you through the final 10. So, number one, what is your favorite word?
Oh, um, I'm gonna say adventure. I just think that's an awesome word and it's got a great meaning to it.
I love when I interview Aussie girls and you just hear that. I don't know how often you've talked to people who have other languages, but they pick up
Yeah.
on us Aussies, like how you just said, it's adventure, like the Americans adventure, and they always pick us up adventure. So it just because I speak to so many people around the world, it's
No,
just
for
nice for me to
sure.
hear
When you just said
An Aussie
those
accent.
two, when you
Yeah,
just said those two,
adventure,
like it
adventure.
sounds very Aussie adventure.
Yeah, adventure. Water, not water. Oh, yeah. Anyway, number two, what is your least favorite word?
Um, I'm gonna say can't. I don't like the word can't in the meaning when people go like, I can't do that. It's 'cause I don't like it because like you're shutting yourself off. You're not
Hmm,
giving your mental space the opportunity to be able to do it. You're already assuming you can't do it. So I don't like the word can't in that meaning.
Number three, in life, what gets you excited or what turns you on?
Um, the first thing that came to my head was shopping. I'm just gonna say like, the adrenaline you get from things. So like,
Mhm.
for example, for me, shopping, obviously adventures. I'm just gonna say, yeah, adrenaline from those things. But yeah, the first thing that came to my head was shopping.
So travel, shopping, and I'm going to assume food is probably in there somewhere
Oh
as well.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. But, what's your favorite place to shop at? Favorite store?
Um, in terms of, I'm gonna say two. In terms of
Okay.
clothing, I do like clothing. I like chic
Hmm.
or like Kukai or
Hmm.
online. I said more than two. Anyway, I'm just gonna list a couple more. Hello Molly, but I also like it's really bad, but I love like Louis Vuitton and YSL and Chanel. So I do have I it's bad, but I get adrenaline from shopping.
You're up to six stores so far, and
Yeah.
you don't seem to have cheap tastes by the
I
sounds
know.
of things.
I was just like, I'm gonna say two, and then I get to four, and I was like, wow, that's more than two, Joe.
Might as well just keep going. It's not like you're mentioning like Target or Woolworths or Kmart either. It's like, oh, Louis Vuitton, YSL, all that good stuff. You're vegan as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I am
I
indeed.
used to be vegan a
Okay,
few years
yeah.
ago. So what are some of the, give me some favorite vegan foods?
My vegan chicken. Um,
What's that made from?
it's like quinoa, beans. I just want to say, like, there's a lot of bad vegan food out there,
Oh
and
yeah.
a lot of people assume, like, they try one vegan thing, and then they go, yep, that vegan food isn't good. But
Hmm.
you need to try the good vegan food, and there's like a small range of good vegan food. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say definitely my vegan chicken with also like my chicken nuggets, like my tenders and then my chicken nuggets. I love just like hot cross buns, like in 2-minute noodles. Like that's not specifically like they're like accidentally vegan foods, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Did you know that Oreos are vegan?
Yes, I love Oreos.
I was having this
And
argument with someone because I thought they were filled with creams. Like, it can't possibly
no,
be vegan. Turns out they're
no.
vegan. So I was like, what is the cream made of if it's vegan? I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's like chicken 2-minute noodles or chicken stock. Like they're vegan. Who would think that?
Well, it's just chicken flavor. So yeah, but no, when I was vegan, it was the vegan like alternatives weren't as good as they are now. But I will tell you the one thing that I really struggled to find. I don't know if this has changed at all. Cheese.
Cheese? Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
knew you were
find
gonna
a
say that.
good vegan cheese. And one of my favorite foods is pizza, because who doesn't like pizza?
Right.
And you can't have a pizza without cheese. And I tried, I made the dough myself, all that stuff. But the cheese, no, couldn't do it. So,
I've found a couple of good cheeses now. One's like the brand Bio cheese for like slices if you want to have like sandwiches. But then there's
mm,
also, I don't know the brand, but there's really good feta cheese. And at my sister's
okay,
hens, actually,
yeah,
we had big cheese platters. So we obviously had like normal cheese, and then we had a
yeah.
small little vegan one. And people like didn't realize that was vegan because we didn't get the chance to tell them yet. And people
Oh,
were
okay.
having the feta,
Yeah, yeah,
and they were
yeah.
like, "This is so good," and I was like, "It's vegan," and they didn't realize. I feel
Yeah,
like
well,
sometimes if people have in their head like this is vegan and like they've
100%.
already come up with that I don't like it, it's
Yeah,
different. Like, but if they don't know, it's
yeah.
quite as good. Yeah,
Oh, sounds like it's come a fair way. There's a lot more alternatives now, which is good.
yeah.
So back on track. So what turned you on was shopping, and I cut you off at 6 stores. So let's go to number 4. What turns you off?
Um, it turns me off. I'm gonna say like, or turns me off, or what makes me sad, so slash sad, is when people listen to other people's negative opinions. So, for example, like when I was at a modeling job the other day, someone said to me, "Oh, you're so skinny, you look like a shadow." I would hate if people said like if people listen to that,
Mm.
like that's what turns me off and doesn't turn me off. I want to help them, but I don't like when people
Yeah.
listen to other people's because it makes me sad them thinking that about themselves. Um, yeah, probably just that.
Number
And
5.
meat,
What?
that turns me off.
That's understandable. Especially if you've been to a slaughterhouse, that'll really turn you off. Number 5.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you love?
I'm gonna go on the continuous line of shopping, but the shop app, like when you make a purchase
Okay.
and it's getting delivered, and also like when the oven goes off and there's food there or something.
I'm beginning to see what your ideal lifestyle would be quite clearly here. Traveling somewhere fancy with some vegan food and a lot of shopping. It sounds
Yeah.
with the occasional modeling gig in Paris or New York or London thrown in for good measure. All right, number 6. And what sound or noise do you hate?
My alarm in the morning.
Okay.
That is not a good sound.
Are you an early morning bird, a morning bird,
Yes,
night owl?
I'm actually a morning person. I get up every morning with my mum and we go for a long walk. So I am a morning person, but I just don't like the sound of that alarm, which I'm sure I can change it. But it's just, when every morning when you wake up to the same alarm, you will always not like it, especially when it's so loud as well. My dog even jumps up and she's like, "Oh my gosh."
What happens if you don't turn the alarm on?
I'll just sleep probably. Oh,
Are you sure?
I'll Oh, no, probably not. I can never sleep in. The
That's what I
I can
mean. Because I'm the same.
Yeah.
I've never been woken. I think I've been once in my entire life. I've been woken up by the alarm. As soon as I set the alarm, I always wake up before it goes off. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But then I figure if I
Sometimes I
don't
do
set it,
that.
I won't wake up. So it's a really weird situation.
That's odd. But I feel
It
like
is.
sometimes I do wake up before my alarm, like a minute before or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't.
Okay. Let's move on. We've got that alarm clock. Okay, number 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
Um, I would love to be able to talk to or not have a language barrier with like all the other countries. I would love to connect with people from all around the world and hear their stories and learn about their culture. So I'd probably say being able to understand any language. But then I'd also say that being able to understand like animals as well would be pretty cool.
Cool. Number 8, what job would you most like to attempt?
Um, I would love to be a detective. I love crime. I love watching documentaries on murder mysteries and stuff like that. So I don't know if I could actually do it. Obviously, I'd probably get freaked out when I'm actually doing it, but I I would like to try it, I guess.
Why can't I just have one interview with you guys where you don't talk about murder mysteries and how much you love murder documentaries and watching serial killer documentaries and wanting to be CSI detectives? Like, that's the weirdest thing I've noticed interviewing like hundreds of you. All of you are obsessed with crime and like
Yeah,
people being stabbed. It's just the
it's so
strangest thing.
fascinating.
I don't understand. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say like it's a weird thing, but just for so many of you to be, because pageantry and serial killers, they're not exactly the same. The same world. I don't know.
I
I need
get
to
that.
work out
I totally get
what
that.
that's about. It's very strange. Okay, so number 9, what job would you definitely not like to attempt?
A butcher.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Or
Yeah.
like a brain surgeon or someone. I just
Yeah.
I I, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I've seen some documentaries, I can tell you. And yeah. Yeah, it's pretty graphic. Okay. Final
Really.
question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Um, Probably just that like I've helped people or I've made the world a better place by being in it. Um, and like obviously the classic, I'm proud of you. You did well. You achieved what you wanted to achieve. But I think the main thing is like you've helped people, your
Hmm,
experiences, your knowledge has helped so many people. Probably the thing I'd want to hear the most, I reckon.
perfect. Okay, let's just quickly circle back to the comments before we wrap up. Jason here has asked, how long does it take to prepare for a pageant on the day? I mean, it depends on the actual day, but let's go with like the
Yeah.
final day.
If he's meaning like in terms of makeup and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff, honestly, probably like 2 hours. Because by that time, say it's the final day, you've already got your tan on, you've already got all your outfits prepared and everything like that. So the only real thing you would have to do would be your hair and makeup or touching up other areas. So maybe 2 to 3 hours, I would say.
which for a guy still seems like a very, very
Yeah.
long time. I can tell you
I
that
love how
much, 2 or 3 hours.
literally I love how I'm saying that like it's only small compared to other times.
What's the longest you've had to sit in a chair having like hair and makeup done? If 2 hours is
Um,
short, what's
oh,
long?
probably max like 4 hours.
Oh,
Because my hair especially is really thick and it doesn't
yeah,
hold curls that well. So it takes like a while to curl my hair. And
right.
especially with pageantry, like your hair has to be, or most of the time,
Yeah, you want
quite,
volume.
voluminous. Yes. So
Yeah,
it's not just as simple as curling it. It takes a lot of time. And then makeup, obviously if it's the final night and you're on stage, you do need a bit more on your eyes or a bit more contour or stuff like that. So it's also like all those added things, but checking it and making sure it's what you want and adding to it, checking it's right for stage and all that fun stuff.
Well, Janaya, that's about it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you.
And
Enjoyed
best of luck.
it.
Best
Thank you
of
very
luck
much.
at the pageant, which is it's in almost exactly 4 weeks,
It's
isn't it?
well, no, it starts the 19th of April.
Oh,
And then
19th. Okay.
the crowning is on, so it's a Wednesday to the Saturday. So I think the crowning's on the 22nd, if that's a Saturday.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So 6
best
weeks.
best of luck there. Sounds like you're going to do
Thank you
well.
very
Can't wait to
much.
see what your dress and your Aussie costume is going to be.
You'll have to
Um,
watch.
I will. I may be there in person, so that would
Ooh,
help that. So we'll see. But I'll keep you on the line for just a sec whilst I hang out with the audience. And thanks to
yeah.
everyone for watching and submitting your
Thank
questions.
you.
And we will speak to you next time. Bye for now. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Sorority Access is now open. So if you'd like to join an amazing group of women and learn how to be the most powerful, confident, and impactful queen possible, head to thepageantsorority.com. I'll see you there and see you in the next video.